I warned Christina that I was going to hit that hard. Can you hear me okay?
No.
Hello,
Hello?
hello.
Hello?
How about now?
Keeps cutting out.
Jordan, can you hear
Me
me?
now. How about now?
Yeah.
All right.
How about now?
No.
Dan, they did this as a trick for you.
Well done, we'll handle it.
Yeah. Okay, how about, am I coming through okay now?
Yes.
Okay, today it's especially important because we have a very large group today. So Dan, thank you for being here. I know your time is very valuable. We're happy to have you. Welcome to the April 6th meeting of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. I'm President Matt Busick, and we're excited to get this program started. We have lots of guests today. So what I'd like is, I'm going to, when I say your name, if you could please stand and stay standing, and we'll we'll be thankful for all of you at the same time at the end. So Chet Hoganson from ITA Group is here as a guest of Ashley Bowenkamp. Ahmed Merchant is here. He is Chairman and CEO of Merchant Investments, guest of Kashan Merchant. Welcome, Ahmed. Will Brown is Regional President of Twin Cedars Bank. He's also a guest of Kashan. And the following four guests are guests of Chris Anderson and board members of Ellipsis. So Mick Lavelle. Mick is here, retired EMC executive. Doug Pearson, retired insurance executive. Tim Crawford, VP and Associate General Counsel at Salmon's Financial Group. And Travis Sheets, General Counsel at BH. Tafek, where are you, Tafek? I told you I'd screw it up. Tafik Shaw, co-founder and CEO of Lola's Fine Sauces, guest of Rita Perea. Josh Miltenberger is a construction executive at Griner Construction, guest of Bob Bedrell. Tanya Wenzel, an EMC vice president of the Des Moines branch, guest of Steve Jacobs. And finally, Jules Wilkins of the ISU Foundation, here as guest of Christina Smith. Welcome, everyone. Okay, it's tumbler time. Actually,
I'm just getting prepped.
okay, gosh. It's tumbler time. Make sure that if you do not have a green dollar sign on your badge, that you take us up on the encouragement to give $3 in cash to the foundation. We appreciate it. If anyone can stay behind today to count, Kitty would really appreciate it. So if any one of you or a couple of you are willing to stick around and count tumblers, we'd appreciate that. Where in the world is Matt? As you know, I like to travel, so today I am here sipping a refreshing drink at the Bahamas at the Great Stirrup Cay. You know, this is the way it ought to be, me drinking somewhere around the world. Remember, if you're planning an excursion or trip, please take me along. I love to travel. You can check out Flat Nats with Kitty. All right, we have three announcements today. First will be Carl Schilling, then Christina Smith, Jason Stuyvesant, and then Jackie will follow Jason to take us through the today's moment of inspiration, our four-way test and the pledge.
Nice. As you know, Rotary International is taking on human trafficking, and as part of our local effort, we've been doing a fundraiser for Dorothy's House, which is a safe house for women who have been trafficked. We've done really well, but it's not too late to get on the bandwagon. You have sign-up sheets on your tables there, and so far we've raised a little over $2,000 plus some goodies that were put in there. So we're doing really great, and let's keep up the momentum. And then the other thing is Tuesday, May 2nd, there's the Putting an End to Trafficking banquet. You'll have more information in the mail, but just keep May 2nd open. to have a really great, interesting and fun Rotary event. Thank you. Steve.
Thanks, Carl. Since I joined the board a couple years ago, I've been really pleased to get to know all of the great impact that our board or that our club has, especially seeing the international impact, as well as hearing from all of you, all of the great, the ways that this club has internationally been part of your Rotary experience. So that is why I'm pleased to announce that our International Services Committee is going to restart. A big shout out to Chris Anderson, who has stepped forward to chair this committee for us. Thank you. So after a brief pause, that committee will restart on April 20th. Our meeting will be virtual and it'll be at 10 a.m. And we will, during that committee meeting, we will be talking about when that committee is going to be meeting regularly, as well as set some goals and talk about a vision for that committee so that we can get back to this club's great international impact. So if you do not have an invitation and the link for that committee, please reach out to Kitty and we will get that to you. And I hope to see all of you who are interested to join that committee. So thank you. Jason?
Hey guys, I am up here again asking you to give back to your community, so I would love for you to help me out on that. We have another volunteer opportunity for Rotary. It's a great way for us to get out there, and in Matt's vision of growing the club, it's a lot easier to grow it if they see us out there doing all the wonderful things that we do. The Des Moines Public Library is once again sponsoring their Dia del Nino celebration. It'll be at Union Park on April 29th. The actual event is 10 to 12, but we need volunteers from around 9:30 until probably 1. We're really just going to greet people as they come into the parking lot, man some of the table stations about literacy and STEM, and then what I did most of last year is fill lots and lots of balloons. You cannot fill enough balloons at this event. They are a very popular item. And also be prepared that kids are very particular about what color of balloon they receive. But yeah, so we only need about 10 volunteers, and I would love to fill that. There's a sign-up sheet out by the name tags. Again, it's April 29th. And if you're not familiar with Dia del Nino, it's kind of like our Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's a day to celebrate children. And I've actually been in Mexico on the holiday, and it's a very big deal in a lot of cultures. My kids went to the event last year and had a great time, so even if you're volunteering, want to bring kids or grandkids, it should be a good day and hopefully get some good weather. But without further ado, Jackie, thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are ya? Good. All right, this is a wonderful group. As I was thinking about our speaker today, the term community leader came to mind. Yes, our speaker is a well-known business leader, but he has also taken a more selfless path to see his responsibility to providing leadership in the Des Moines community. And everyone in this room, whether you serve on a board, you volunteer, you served in the military, you're an elected official, we all serve in some way. And so I'm asking you to consider this. It's told to us in multiple books of faith, whether it be the Torah, the Quran, the Bible in Luke 12:48, to give as much as you can. We're told because much has been given to you, much will be required of you. Whether you choose to use your talents, wealth, knowledge, time, I urge you to give even more in whatever form you can so we can blaze trails for the next generation. So thank you for all you do, but thank you for all that you will do in the future to support this community. And thank you again for being here today. So I'm going to ask you to rise, and we will say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll say the four-way test.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And now take a moment to say hello to your fellow Rotarians and guests.
From the ISU Foundation?
Yes.
Very good. What do you do for the foundation?
I'm the Director of Development for the College of Liberal Arts.
Okay, very good. Fantastic. It's nice to meet you. You're based in Ames, I assume?
Yes,
Yeah, very good.
travel like nationally, but
All right.
mostly Ames.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you both.
Back there a little bit.
Even if you gave before to Dorothy's house, let's give a little bit more. Thank you.
When I was a company commander in the Army, I would just yell, "Seats!" Those of you who are longtime members of the club will remember and recognize that we've had a really good track record of getting CEOs from around the community as well as other community leaders to speak at our podium. I think in the last 20 years, I can remember I introduced Barry Griswold twice. Once while he was CEO and principal, and I think the second time he was head of the Community Foundation. Larry Zempelman, who was CEO and principal, and Dan spoke to us maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But if you have forgotten or missed what I said when I introduced him 4 or 5 years ago, I'll give you a little thumbnail sketch of Dan. Dan is a native Texan. Grew up in Houston. It's the house from Houston. And yet he had strong ties to Iowa. His grandparents were farmers in the Denison, Iowa area. And from the time he was 11, 12, 13, tell me if I'm wrong here, Dan, he spent summers in Iowa working on his grandparents' farm, doing everything you do on a farm. You work bale hay, you walk beans, you plant corn, you shovel. Well, you know what you shovel. And so we spent a lot of time those years there, and he came away, and I'll give you 2 big takeaways that Dan brought away from that. One is a very strong work ethic, and 2, a girlfriend named Joni, who he pursued relentlessly until she caught him. But beyond that, Dan is a graduate of Iowa State. He probably would have been accepted at Iowa, but I think Joni went to Iowa State. And when he graduated in 1984, he went to work for what was then the Bankers Life Company, now Principal, in Dallas, Texas, as what we called then a group rep. We marketed group life and health insurance to employers and through insurance brokers in Florida. Did that for a couple of years and was asked to give up his company car, come to Des Moines, and take on broader responsibilities. And he managed and looked after a whole territory of group sales and marketing offices. Think maybe what, 4th in the United States or something like that. So that put him in Des Moines, and he eventually moved from a marketing side to more of an operations side, generally in the pension department for most of those years, moving through greater levels of responsibility until he became chairman of the board, president, and CEO in 2015. So I've known Dan a while, maybe 30 years or so, so I can tell you a lot of stories of Dan. Some would be true, but let's just hear from Dan.
Thank
thank you, Art. I really appreciate those kind words. You gave them just like I gave them to you, so appreciate that. So a couple of cleanup items there. So for those of you wondering, Joni is the one that drew me to Iowa. And the last time I had a date other than Joni, I was 15 years of age. So I have no credibility as a dater other than all that track record getting up to that point. But to the entrepreneurs in the room, how many are really entrepreneurs? You started your companies, yeah, and you probably, a lot of those people might be customers of yours. One of the best lessons I got in Dow City, Iowa, Denison, was about being an entrepreneur. I was 15 years old and I had been going up the